fake maneuvering of troops that Trump has done has just shifted them to different countries. So we still have troops patrolling the oil fields in Syria. We still have a shitload of troops all over that region, right? It's just that Trump just claims that he's removing them and he never does. But people just simply believe that because he's a con artist and they never look at his actual actions. When it comes to Afghanistan, this is a place that, you know, there's been an imperial conspiracy to keep U.S. forces there for quite a long time. I think that the reason that we've been there for almost 2 decades is because we want to set up some sort of neo-colony, a permanent mining installation, perhaps the oil pipeline that we've been wanting since the Clinton administration. Trump is not going to leave, okay? And when it comes to Biden, he has said that he's going to also keep thousands of special forces there or some sort of military personnel on the ground. I think this is a situation where you're not going to see much difference with either president. But what Trump has done has ramped up bombing to such devastating levels in Afghanistan that when he got into office, he doubled bombing in Afghanistan. He doubled bombing and doubled civilian casualties there. And also, at this point, there's not only the highest level of fatalities in Afghanistan, there's also the highest level of troop deaths. So he unleashed a bloodbath there when he got into office. And so it's pretty disgusting to see people giving him a modicum of credit for doing anything good in Afghanistan after he unleashed so much devastation and hardship. Can you imagine how much death that's caused, how much loss that's caused for the Afghan people? We can't forget unleashing the Moab, the mother of all bombs, that was actually praised bipartisanly from our military, political establishment, and media establishment that all just praised Trump. I remember people saying this is when Trump became president, when he dropped the Moab. How disgusting was that? You had Mattis saying we're not going to waste our time digging through piles of rubble to count dead bodies. So we actually don't know the impact of that Moab. We don't know how many people it killed. That had a blast radius of 1 mile. That's just one of the things that Trump did in Afghanistan, and now you have people praising him for negotiating this peace deal with the Taliban. Why is the U.S. involved at all? If you look at the peace deal, there's actually impossible benchmarks that declare that the U.S. needs to have a permanent military presence there for an undetermined amount of time. So it's actually putting ridiculous thresholds on the Afghan people and the Taliban to agree upon, and it's all just a farce. It's a farce because the U.S. wants to reap what they have, you know, they want to reap what they feel like they are owed, and that is the multi-trillion-dollar mineral wealth in Afghanistan, and God knows what else that we've been there this whole long to secure. So that's what's going on in Afghanistan. I haven't heard Biden talking about ending or removing troops from Syria and Iraq. And I haven't heard him ever condemn Trump for bombing the shit out of civilians. And when it comes to drone strikes, people want to continue to remind us whenever we talk about Trump's militarism that Obama was the drone king, right? Something that I coined on Breaking the Set. Obama was the drone king. Well, guess what? Trump ramped up drone strikes to 400% higher than Obama. Why haven't we been talking about that? Why don't we talk about the fact that Trump is still overseeing draconian NSA surveillance? You know, these are things that, yeah, he adopted, but actually increased, right? And so if you care about drone strikes, you should really, really care about the fact that Trump has ramped those up to really, really shocking levels, and again, lacking transparency. Not only did he tell the Pentagon to take the gloves off, but also made it so that we don't actually know the accurate number of drone strikes anymore or civilian dead, because those have been removed. They don't need to actually cite numbers anymore accurately. But again, Biden, knowing that he helped oversee and pioneer that killer drone empire alongside our great Barack Obama, the drone king, I don't see any difference in that. He'll probably just maintain that same drone level that Trump has deployed around the world. So it is very scary. Africa, again, we're seeing an increased amount of drone strikes and special operations.